Why hello there, metalheads of the internet, and welcome to a brand new, slightly different episode of the Metal Meltdown. Quick question, have you ever, at any point in your life, even if it was just once, no shame, no judgment, whipped out your cell phone at a concert and snapped a few pics? Taken a few videos? Have you ever posted those videos or photos to social media platforms like, I don't know, Instagram, TikTok? Have you ever shared them with your friends? Have you ever just kept them to yourself just to look at and go, man, that was a really cool concert. I'm glad I went. I have this memory. I have this really cool shot, this really cool video to cement this really cool moment that I was a part of. Have you ever done that? Guess what? You're not alone. Most people do this. In fact, I'm willing to bet almost everybody watching this video right now has done this. Even the most cranky, fun-hating, gatekeepy metal elitist, I promise you, at some point has dropped the facade and whipped out their phone to record their favorite fucking neo-Nazi fucking dog shit underground metal band. I promise you. Honestly, for as long as cell phones and cameras in general have kind of been a thing that people can just have, everybody has tried to snap photos and videos at concerts and such. I mean, there was a point where, like, people would make bootleg albums and shit out of stuff that they recorded at concerts and, like, bootleg videos that they would put on YouTube way back in the day. Many people still do that. Many people still record video at concerts to put it on their YouTube channel or to use it for some kind of, like, bootleg kind of thingy. And maybe this is where I risk a hot take, but I don't really have a problem with this. I've never really had a problem with this. I mean, for one, if I did, it would make me a hypocrite. It would also make you a hypocrite, because again, everyone's done this at one point or another. You're lying if you've said you've never done this. But it also just doesn't bother me because, like, it just doesn't. It's not my business what other people do at concerts. They spent the money for the ticket. They can do whatever the shit they want. Now, I can understand that artists might be frustrated if they're looking up and they're seeing an entire arena or club full of cell phones. I can understand that the artist would rather people be, I don't know, dancing, drinking, singing along, moshing, having fun, pumping their fists in the air instead of their cell phones. That's fair. I totally get that. And I can also understand that people would be frustrated if they're standing behind somebody and that particular somebody is recording the entire fucking show. That sucks. But, like, I don't know, man. In my experience, from what I've seen at shows, if an artist goes, you know, hey, let's put down the cell phones and, you know, let's jump in the pit, whatever. Let's do this, let's do that. You know, people tend to do it. People tend to respect that. And, like, if you're standing behind somebody doing that shit, you can just move, you know? It's a general admission show. You can just move. You can just go. You know what I mean? Like, just go. I guess on that note, if it's, like, a seated show in, like, a nice theater or a big, like, fucking football, hockey stadium, whatever the fuck like that, maybe you're a little screwed. Maybe you're a little screwed. But, you know, you can tap on Buddy's shoulder and just go, hey, man, would you mind just for a minute? I don't want to look at your phone. Like, you can give it a shot. What's the worst that can happen? I don't know, give it a shot. Anyways, I'm bringing all of this up because there's an epidemic lately of old people whining about cell phones, particularly old musicians and music business people. I was inspired to put this video together after reading this from Metal Injection. Iron Maiden's manager is pissed people are using their phones during shows. As Metal Injection writes, Iron Maiden recently requested fans severely limit their phone usage during their shows, which went about as well as you'd assume it would. Unless people are putting their phones in pouches prior to the show, you better believe some filming and photo taking is gonna happen. Iron Maiden manager Rod Smallwood has taken to the band's website to thank everyone for coming out to the opening night of Iron Maiden's tour, but also took a moment to chastise fans for using their phones, which seems a little childish. No, we all knew it was going to happen, and again, it's not like people were skirting preventive measures. Do you mean skirting? It's okay. pop off. It's okay. Lord knows it's not a Metal Meltdown video with some kind of typo or mispronunciation, so don't worry, bud. You're good. You're in the clear. It happens to all of us. Well, what a way of starting this monumental tour with a couple of sold-out nights in Budapest. It was the perfect place to open the tour, a great venue, an incredible city, in fact, one of my favorites. Blah, 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 blah. A huge thank you to every one of you who kept your phones down, respected the band and your fellow fans, and embraced the show it's meant to be experienced in the room with us. This was a great boost for us, and the band appreciated it greatly. It is so much better when they can see you unencumbered, and that drives them on without distraction. For the selfish few that didn't and just had to keep videoing, I wish you nothing but a very sore arm. Now again, I can understand being Iron Maiden, being a massive, mega rock metal band, and not wanting to see, like, tens of thousands of people just holding their cell phones the whole night. I understand that. I sympathize with that. I don't think you should have your cell phone out the entire time. But as I noted before, I also don't see the harm, especially in this age of social media where things can become really popular and trendy, and you can be boosted and elevated so quickly with a couple of photos and videos. Straight up, I don't see the fucking harm. And like I said before, in my experience, when bands say, hey, just put down the phones for a minute, people respect that. That's what Iron Maiden did here. They said, hey, put down the phones tonight. Let's have some fun. People, for the most part, respected that. But you have to, in 2025, you have to accept the fact that somebody is still going to snap a video of Number of the Beast. It's just going to happen. I've seen Iron Maiden twice. I promise you, I've taken quite a few photos and videos. And this whole statement where it's like, for the selfish few that didn't and just had to keep videoing, I wish you nothing but a very sore arm. I'm sorry, but I think that that's kind of petty and immature of you. Straight up. Straight the fuck up. Like, this motherfucker was really sitting down and stewing somewhere and thinking about, like, maybe 10 or 20 people that were snapping a few pics and taking a few videos, and he went, those people are selfish. I hope that they're in pain right now. It's giving okay boomer. It's giving old man yells at cloud. Abe Simpson with his driver's license yelling at the fucking cloud. I will give Iron Maiden credit for not outright banning phones or trying to eject people from the venue who were using their phones, because I think that that's just extremely bad practice. Like, for me, as an adult man in Toronto, going to concerts, especially in big venues with my wife, I want to keep my phone on me at all times, and I want my wife to have her phone on her at all times. Because if there's an emergency, if something's wrong, if one of us needs something, if we get separated in the venue during or before or after the show, we can contact each other and we can figure shit out. Not to mention just, like, having to stop everybody to, like, lock up their phones or put it in a pouch or make sure it's turned off. I feel like that just creates, like, another, like, little guardrail to jump over. It just slows things down. This was certainly the case for Ghost, a band that has very famously had no phone policies as of late. Ghost's no phones policy caused massive lines in England. Some people waited over an hour to get into the venue. Look at that. Look at that. Look at all those people lined up just to get their phones locked up. That's fucking insane. One concert goer on X even reported waiting over 90 minutes, saying, been queuing for Ghost for 1.5 hours and still not in. Ropes at 6:30 and band at 8. Whose idea was that? It's almost like Utilita Birmingham forgot there's 16,000 people to seat. Absolute shit show. Now, for the sake of transparency, I should acknowledge that simultaneous to these kinds of frustrations, generally speaking, Ghost fans are willing to go along with this and seem to be enjoying themselves. As one fan writes, it seems counterintuitive to me to pay a lot of money to go and see an act live and then spend the time watching them through a small screen, so for me the lack of phones in the arena space was very noticeable from the get-go. It was less distracting too without a sea of lights from screens in the way of the main view. I felt as if I could take in and appreciate more of the set design, the lighting, and honestly even the sound. More people were dancing and getting involved. Everyone was focused on what they were actually there for, the music. I'd say it's one of the best gigs I've been to in a long time, and I think at least some of that is a direct result of the phone ban. And that sounds awesome. I mean, look, as I've mentioned already, I don't have an issue with people having their cell phones out taking photos and videos at a concert. But, simultaneously, this is awesome. Ideally, you want to be at a show to see the show. You want to go see a band to hear them play their famous hit songs and such. So minimal cell phone usage is always a good thing. Now, Iron Maiden and Ghost are hardly the first rock metal bands to try to limit or outright ban cell phone usage at their shows. The Misfits, Tool, A Perfect Circle are also all guilty of this. And this isn't unique to just rock or metal music either. As this article notes, Bob Dylan, Nick Cave, Jack White, Alicia Keys, and the Pretenders have also tried to ban or limit cell phone usage at their concerts in the past couple of years. And here's something I'm just noticing here. Watch Slipknot's Corey Taylor slap phone out of unsuspecting fans' hands. Really? Oh, poopy. They deleted it. Well, shit. I mean, if that's true, that's fucking crazy. Like, what the fuck? Because I don't give a shit who you are, whether you're some fucking kid in the crowd or Corey goddamn Taylor. If you're smacking something out of your hands, if you're physically attacking me, brother, it is fucking on. How fucking dare you? I kind of want to see if I can find this now. Can I find it? Can I find it? Okay, I think I found it. I think I found it. All right, so Slipknot's playing on stage. I see tons and tons and tons of phones out, but this one guy's texting. Let me guess, that's the guy who he fucking attacks. Okay, yeah, there we go. There we go. Now look, I get it. You're Corey fucking Taylor, Grammy Award-winning singer of Slipknot, one of the biggest metal bands in the world. You're playing a massive fucking show. There's a guy in the front row texting. I can understand why that's annoying. I can understand that. But there are a million other ways you could have handled that, and it would have looked way better. Like, you could have just been like, hey man, put the phone away. Straight up. You also could have just ignored it. Because, like, fuck it. You're goddamn Corey Taylor. You're a Grammy Award-winning musician. You're playing a massive fucking stadium. He's not. Why do you fucking care? Honestly. And, like, there are tons of other phones in the front row taking photos and videos and shit. They get a pass, I guess, though. I don't know, man. Seems pretty fucking petty and stupid and fucking dumb to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm a dumb fucking millennial who just doesn't get it. But that was a bad look. That was a dumb thing to do. My hot take too is that musicians react this way because they want to limit bootlegs and shit like that. Like, they're worried about people leaking concerts and selling bootleg albums and shit like that. Because I mean, that was a huge thing back in the day. It was really huge in the 70s, 80s, and 90s where people would sell bootleg live albums and concert albums that they had recorded at fucking concerts. And this is something Tobias Forge himself has kind of commented on in an interview with Planet Rock, saying, I really want to underline that the band has nothing to do with, let's say, copyright control. It's not that we want to sit on all the material and we don't want anybody to monetize Ghost. It has nothing to do with that. If you say so, but I'm not sure I believe you. Because the reality is, if some guy records your entire concert and releases a bootleg live album a month later, then, you know, and in the case of Ghost, last year, y'all were really trying to push the right here, right now concert album movie thing too, so it's hard to convince somebody to go to the theaters, to go to their local movie theater, or to buy it on DVD or whatever, if they can get the same concert music video experience from some guy who just happened to be there. I think this is kind of why Metallica has gotten into the habit of, like, doing live albums essentially for every show and releasing them the next day to kind of, like, counter this. I don't know for sure if it's really worked, but, I mean, a band with the resources and with the level of success that Metallica has really shouldn't have to worry about bootleg albums anyways. I don't know. It could just be something they do because, I mean, they have a very large, dedicated fan base that just wants as much Metallica as possible. So, you know, whatever. If that's what people want to do with their time and money, they want to spend money on the concert and then have essentially a live album version of the concert afterwards, fuck it. More power to you. Not my business. You do you. But I would rather just take a little photo. That's kind of my thing. Like, I've never once gone to, like, a dinner party or something like that and taken a photo or a video and suddenly the whole vibe is ruined, you know what I mean? And that's kind of how I feel about concerts. Like, there seems to be this attitude that taking photos and taking videos ruins everything. Now, mind you, if I'm at a dinner party and everybody is taking photos and videos the whole night and nobody's eating and drinking and talking and having fun, then that's a problem. That's not a very great dinner party. But for me, it doesn't necessarily mean that the whole night is ruined. It doesn't necessarily mean that the night is over. And on the note of concerts, there are plenty of pop artists who have succeeded and have put on big, great shows in the past year. And despite the fact that people are taking videos and photos, like, do you have any idea how many Charlie XCX, Chapel Rowan fucking videos show up on my TikTok For You page every fucking day? Because people are just constantly taking photos and taking videos and shit like that. It's all the fucking time. All the goddamn fucking time. And people look like they're having a fucking blast. You can have it both ways. You don't have to pull this whole old man yells at cloud bullshit every time somebody whips out a cell phone. The vibe doesn't have to be immediately ruined just because somebody wants to record you playing Enter Sandman or some shit. I understand the frustrations that artists have, but overall, I'm not really bothered by somebody taking photos and videos at a concert. I guess this is where I pass it to you now. What do you think? Do you care? Does this matter to you at all? Do you agree with me? Do you agree with Iron Maiden and Ghost? Are you somewhere in the middle? Let me know. This is potential for a conversation, so let's have one. While I have your attention, if you could do me a favor and go to the Metal Meltdown community page. Wow! I'd made a poll. It's about Uncle Melty's Kitchen, a possible comeback, a return of Uncle Melty's Kitchen. I want to do an Uncle Melty's Canada Day barbecue video, but I don't want to do it if y'all aren't fucking interested. So, vote here and let me know, or comment below if that is easier somehow for you, if you don't want to go that extra mile to just click a couple more buttons. Whatever. Not my business. That's your call, your time, whatever. Oh my fucking god. It says Canada Day. It says Canada Day. Like I said, it's not a Metal Meltdown video without some kind of typo, some kind of mispronunciation. Jesus goddamn Christ, I'm a fucking idiot. As always, make sure you subscribe to the Metal Meltdown so you get updates on it immediately if you aren't already getting them. Join us on Discord. Boom, other videos. Where would they be? Where would they be? They would be here. There'd be one up here, and there'd be one over there. Ha ha! And as always, you have yourself a fantastic fucking day. I'm all over the place now. I'm all over the place now!